Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel, visitors and viewers new and old. This is the weekly general reading for the period of Sunday, September 15th through Saturday to come, September 21st, the fall or autumnal equinox. There are no items on the Islamic or Muslim calendar or Hebrew or Jewish calendar this week, about which we're going to discuss. So we'll go straight to the Christian calendar. And the 15th, the first day for which this reading is, the feast day of Our Lady of Sorrows. For that, I'm going to franciscanmedia.org. For a while, there were two feasts in honor of the Sorrowful Mother. One going back to the 15th century. So the original in the 15th century equals 6, as I've mentioned before. Very closely related to Mary, the number 6. The other is connected to the 17th century, or began in the 17th century. For a while, both were celebrated by the Universal Church. One on the Friday before Palm Sunday, which would also be the Friday before Good Friday, and the other in September. The principal biblical passages or references to Mary's sorrows are in Luke 2:35 and John 19:26 through 27. The Lucian passage is Simeon's prediction about a sword piercing Mary's soul. The Johannan, as in John, passage relates Jesus' words from the cross to Mary and to the beloved people. Many early writers interpret the sword as Mary's sorrows, especially as she saw Jesus die on the cross. Thus, the two passages are brought together as prediction and fulfillment. St. Ambrose, in particular, sees Mary as a sorrowful yet powerful figure at the cross. Mary stood fearlessly at the cross while others fled. Mary looked on her son's wounds with pity, but saw in them the salvation of the world. As Jesus hung on the cross, Mary did not fear to be killed, but offered herself as well to her persecutors. John's account of Jesus' death is highly symbolic. When Jesus gives the beloved disciple to Mary, we are invited to appreciate Mary's role in the church. She symbolizes the church. The beloved disciple represents all believers. As Mary mothered Jesus, she is now mother to all of his followers. Furthermore, as Jesus died, he handed over his spirit. Mary and the Spirit cooperate in begetting new children of God, almost an echo of Luke's account of Jesus' conception. Christians can trust that they will continue to experience the caring presence of Mary and Jesus' Spirit throughout their lives and throughout history. The second item that we're going to talk about is, ironically, on the last day for which this reading is, the 21st, and that is the feast day of Saint Matthew, the evangelist and apostle. Also from franciscanmedia.org. Matthew was a Jew who worked for the occupying Roman forces, collecting taxes from other Jews. The Romans were not scrupulous about what the tax farmers got for themselves. Hence, latter, known as publicans, were generally hated as traitors by their fellow Jews. The Pharisees lumped with them sinners. See Matthew 9:11 through 13. Those numbers are interesting, huh? So it was shocking to them to hear Jesus call such a man to be one of his intimate followers. Matthew got Jesus in further trouble by having a sort of going away party at his house. The gospel tells us that many tax collectors and those known as sinners came to the dinner. The Pharisees were still more badly shocked. But what business did the supposedly great teacher have associating with such immoral people? Jesus' answer was, quote, "Those who are well do not need a physician, but the sick do. Go and learn the meaning of the words. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners." End quote. Matthew 9:12 through 13. Jesus is not setting aside ritual and worship. He's saying that loving others is even more important. No other particular incidents about Matthew are found in the New Testament. From such an unlikely situation, Jesus chose one of the foundations of the church, a man others, judging from his job, thought was not holy enough for the position. But Matthew was honest enough to admit that he was one of the sinners Jesus came to call. He was open enough to recognize truth when he saw him. Quote, "And he got up and followed him." Matthew 9:9. Lastly, from the celestial calendar, I will just recap the events of the 14th, the day prior, because they were significant, beginning with at 12:33 a.m., the full moon in Pisces. And there's a lot of threes associated with this. I pointed out in the general reading. It's 12:33. So that's 333 at 21 degrees. Also 3. September 14th, again, at 3:14 in the morning, Mercury enters Libra, or entered Libra at this point. And lastly, on September 14th, at 9:43 a.m., Venus also entered Libra. You can hear me talk about both of those events in my Pisces full moon reading. September 18th, at 4:47 a.m., Saturn will go direct. And lastly, on September 21st, the last day for which this reading is, at 12:44 p.m., Jupiter will be square Neptune at 17 degrees 00, if anybody's interested. So let's talk about Saturn going direct. For that, I have gone to astrologyanswers.com. Saturn direct in Capricorn, self-discipline tips for each zodiac sign. Written on September 1st, 2019 by the astrology.com staff. It's time to get out of that retrograde slug. We've had so many planets retrograde this summer. So if you've been feeling like this just hasn't been the best summer of your life, don't freak out. You're not alone. As August winds down, the planets are waking up and beckoning you to take some action. Retrogrades are all about the internal processes that we undergo to figure out what is next in our life. Mercury went direct at the beginning of August, and we're now seeing forward motion in communication areas. Jupiter went direct on August 11th, and we're finding more opportunities to expand and to find fortune. This week, on September 18th, Sirius and stern Saturn is turning direct, and it's responsibility time. Every zodiac has a different lesson to learn, and these Saturn direct horoscopes for each zodiac sign present a different karmic lesson. When a planet is retrograde, it appears to be moving slower in a backward direction. The point of every retrograde period with every planet is that the planet is not moving forward, and thus the themes of that planet in that sign and in your specific chart are not moving forward either. Saturn retrograde from April to September 2019 is a very karmic period, as Saturn is a planet of karma and time. There's been a lot of hurry up and wait for many during this period. Hurry up and wait has been immediately connected to your karmic path. With stern Saturn's karmic time in play, you've been dealing with past, present, and future matters all at the same time. Lessons have been learned, and some of them have been very difficult. It's time to clean up some of the things that you've swept under the rug. Challenges will ensue once Saturn goes direct, but if your karmic path has been responsible, then you're going to see some rewards. Saturn direct is nothing to fear. This is a time to celebrate. And when you engage yourself in discipline and self-discipline, as is Saturn's call, the rewards will be mighty. Saturn is turning direct in Capricorn, the sign that it rules. This means that Saturn direct in Capricorn, the workhorse of the zodiac, is going to teach us a lot about life lessons, about discipline, responsibility, and how we accomplish our success. Have things been difficult? Now's the time for you to enjoy the balance that the universe provides. Beginning with Aries, reaching for the stars. You have karmic Saturn turning direct in your 10th house of public image and career destiny. This has the potential to be very exciting for you. Work is really going to take off, and you probably feel this already. The things you've been working on for this summer are going to capitulate you and catapult you to an area of success that you may have only dreamed of. What are your biggest dreams? Reach for those stars, Aries. You have the energy to engage this action. At the same time, if karmic lessons are due, you may need to address taking responsibility. Be sure to always consider how your actions affect others. Taurus, it's a big wide world. With Saturn going direct in fellow friendly earth sign Capricorn, Saturn is teaching you karmic lessons on global affairs. Saturn's turning direct in your 9th house of foreign affairs and big picture issues, reminding you of the lessons learned in this big wide universe of yours and ours. This is the time to reach for the stars and to connect with your fellow humans when you do. Saturn retrograde may have you feeling tired of thinking this big. Everything you do has a trickle effect in this world and with other humans in a very big way. Keep that in mind, Taurus, and that self-discipline and responsible ethic is going to send you some grand success. Gemini, secrets are the secret. Have secrets been your secret this summer, Gemini? Saturn retrograde in Capricorn has been working your 8th house of secrets and transformations. And you need to be careful with this one. This is a house with some heavy karmic lessons, and it's been happening behind closed doors with Saturn retrograde. You may have life-changing events when secrets come out. Saturn turning direct in this karmic house is going to teach you that your self-discipline will come in the form of truth-telling. When you do, the rewards will be excellent. Speak the truth, even if your voice shakes, Gemini. Cancer, soulmate lessons. Relationship matters have felt a little sluggish over the summer, Cancer, and you may have been feeling like past, present, and future relationship issues are all at stake. That's because Saturn retrograde in your opposite sign of Capricorn taught you how to grow in your primary partnerships. How you've engaged with the most important people in your life over the past few months has been very karmic lesson that you have undergone during Saturn retrograde. Now it's time to make everything right. Leo, the rewards are in the details. Matters to your everyday routines have probably been a significant focus for you since April of this year, Leo. That's because Saturn has been retrograde in your 6th house of work and routine, and you've been tied up and frustrated by the little details in your life. Saturn direct in Capricorn in the 6th house is going to remind you of these little things in a very big way. It's time to clean up those little knots that you swept under the rug. Your self-discipline lessons will be all about taking care of the details with flawless attention. Just take care of it all when Saturn turns direct. Virgo, true love is calling. The fun zone has been moving in the slow lane with Saturn retrograde in Capricorn and your 5th house of true love and pleasures, Virgo. This means that you've been going through the motions when it comes to children or romance this summer, and you likely haven't really felt like anything forward has occurred. Your rewards are spectacular in love and with children when Saturn goes direct. You may want to tend to some of these responsibilities as Saturn turns direct. Be authentic and clear in relationship issues. Libra, home is where the heart is. Family issues have been front and center for you since April of this year. This is because Saturn has been retrograde in Capricorn in your 4th house of roots and family. Issues directly related to your actual home may have been a test for you over the past few months. If your karma is clean here, then the rewards Saturn will send you when he turns direct will be outstanding. Connect with each member of your family in a spiritual way. Even if you can't communicate your thoughts to them directly, just send some loving thoughts to them. Saturn is telling you now you need to meet some spiritual responsibilities at home. Saturn will show you the way if you don't start engaging that self-discipline now. So it's like Saturn will force you. Scorpio, information overload. You're the detective of the zodiac, and information is seeking your superpower. But when you engage in it means that you aren't healthy. Then you're going to get caught in some traps. You seek information at all costs, and sometimes that is not okay. Saturn retrograde in Capricorn has been teaching you this lesson. Saturn direct in your third house of communications is finally going to get some missing pieces to the puzzle, but only if you have been practicing self-discipline and not leaning to the dark side when it comes to information seeking. You will get the information that you want, Scorpio. As the ruler of time, Saturn says it's never too late to make corrections. Sagittarius, show me the money, honey. Has it felt like no matter what you do in the area of money, you're fighting a losing battle? If it has, then you can shake your head at Saturn retrograde for that. Saturn retrograde in your second house of earned income has been working your income streams to teach you some valuable lessons about self-discipline and self-correction. Past issues are going to impact your present decisions and future outcomes. This is the karmic lesson of Saturn. Saturn direct is going to put some of these money matters into forward motion. Get to those lessons now. Engage any self-discipline that you have been letting slip, and you can expect some monetary rewards. Sagittarius, you may be wondering where all the money you're getting is coming from. Capricorn, to thine own self be true. As the workhorse of the zodiac, Capricorn, you have a very busy time taking care of everybody else. This may have been especially true this summer, with Saturn retrograde working your first house of self. This may be the time to start turning that around and putting some forward motion on matters related to your sense of self. This is related to how you feel as a person and how you present your higher self in every area of your life. It could mean anything from taking care of your appearance to present, or I think they mean presenting a more polished look to the world. It's not shallow to do so, Capricorn. You may also need to show some self-discipline in the area of self-care. Have you been overdoing it, or have you been neglecting taking care of yourself entirely? Saturn direct in your first house of self is going to have you shining in the world. Aquarius, every ending bears a beginning. Summer has been an intense one emotionally, Aquarius, and you've been feeling heavy. Feelings more than, or feeling this way, I think they mean more than you have in a long time. There's a couple of like little typos in here. This is Saturn retrograde in your 12th house of secrets and endings. You have an intuitive feeling that something is being left out or unsaid, and you maybe feel that this is all going to lead to some colossal ending. You're correct. It may feel better emotionally to just ignore this heavy feeling of ending. And that's been the easy thing to do under Saturn retrograde. But Saturn direct is going to bear some secrets or information that creates a very karmic turn for you. It will actually provide some relief for you, Aquarius. You've been playing the low-key game because that is what feels best to you. It's time to act on what has been going on so that the endings are more moving forward and catapulting you into some outstanding beginnings. Last but not least, Pisces, friends in high places. It may have felt like your social game has been a little off, Pisces, or that your networks or friendship have been moving in the slow lane over the summer. This is because Saturn has been retrograde in your 11th house of groups and friendships, and your social networks have been moving very slowly. With Saturn direct, you'll be given plenty of opportunities to correct friendship issues. Under Saturn direct, working on building healthy friendships will launch a trickle effect that establishes an excellent sense of rewards and confidence. You'll feel better when you activate consideration and kindness with humans around you. Saturn discussions can be a real drag for many of us. Saturn tells us what we need to do. We don't always want to do that, but we always want to succeed. You can't have both. You can't ignore what needs to be done and be successful at the same time. Saturn is the gentle parent when we practice those self-discipline tips, and an authority figure when we don't. Engage those karmic lessons. Do what needs to be done, and Saturn direct is going to be very exciting for you. Don't freak out on Saturn if you let something slip and it finds you. Lean on that gentle paternal figure and get it done. In time, Saturn says, this too shall pass. And with that, we're on to the dice. So with the dice, we are starting with forget it. Weekend away. And buy shoes. Spirit says email. Romantic dinner. Perhaps you'll receive the invitation via email. And it's in connection to spiritual partnership, perhaps. Now, spiritual partnership doesn't have to be romantic. This can be a business partnership. We're going to a spiritually based business, or we were both intuitively inspired to partner with each other. We've had a kismet sort of serendipitous connection, and so that's why we're going into partnership. That's a spiritual connection. It could be family members that are tied to in a particularly special way. But coupled with romantic dinner and email, definitely could be receiving an invitation from somebody with whom you do have a romantically based spiritual relationship, with 29 showing up, spiritual partnership. With the cards, Angel Tarot, beginning with the Page of Earth, who is scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters. Wanting to do something more challenging. And a new area of study. Opening from there to the Page of Fire, who's outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Again, tied into email. This could be a job offer, or some other way to make money, some other notification about money that's on its way to you, an opportunity to go to school or to learn something new, to take some kind of course, vocation, to be someone's apprentice or assistant or something. Page of Earth. The Page of Earth is a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, by the way. And the Page of Fire is a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Opening from there to the Knight of Air. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully weigh your options, review your options, so you can come up with creative solutions. In traditional tarot practice, the Knight of Air is a Gemini. For me, the pages are usually the mutable signs. But of course, it can be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It can very well be a Libra, considering this week. And today, actually, the day on which I'm doing this reading, the 14th, Mercury and Venus, both rulers of fellow air sign Gemini, entered Libra. When the Knight of Air shows up, it's often because we have a decision to make or we're awaiting one. Maybe we're awaiting a decision about, again, a financial matter, whether or not we're going to get credit or a loan. Excuse me. Financial aid. Something having to do with a settlement or awaiting some sort of news, a letter. Again, could be an email. And from there, the Five of Earth. Fears surrounding money. The wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. Maybe this is why we're like hanging on the edge of our seat, awaiting this information, because we're, feeling we're getting low on money, or we've experienced some sort of loss, or we fear experiencing loss or feeling lack. So we're already sort of beginning to get into a panic. If that's the case, if you haven't actually suffered a loss, do watch this kind of energy and try to move away from it in consideration of opportunities that are trying to come your way, because you don't want to block them. Five of Earth or Pentacles can definitely block, abundance. Five of Earth. And one more. It is Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers, which can also have to do with a decision you have to make, like a heart versus head sort of thing. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. In my Pisces full moon reading, I saw people perhaps wanting to move away from friends and or family. And so you could be awaiting an opportunity to do that. And that could be weighing on you in terms of heart versus head. Like, it's something you need to do, but you're emotionally tied to these people. And, so it's a really difficult decision to make. Like, do I leave my friends and family? Or, do I continue to feel the way I do in this living condition? Or job, or relationship. It can apply to any of those. Back to the Page of Fire on that note. Speaking of wanting to move or move on, whether literally or metaphorically, the overall energy is the 8 of Water. A desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. You could, have like outgrown some people. Your vibration has increased. Theirs hasn't, or theirs has in a different way. We're all at, our own speed and our own path. And so maybe this is happening now. Because I saw a lot of that, like I said, in the full moon reading, like a disjoining, a need for a disconnect, and maybe a severing of ties permanently. So 8 of Water, overall energy. With the angel therapy cards, beginning with listen to your intuitive feelings. Your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. Opening to books. Your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritually based books. So that could be tied to email and or the 8, or the page rather, of Pentacles that we saw in terms of learning something new, studying a new program, going to school. And mediumship. Maybe this is specifically what you're trying to develop. You have the natural ability to connect with departed loved ones. I also saw this. I also saw deceased family members, very possibly someone's father, and even more specific to that, someone's earth sign father, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, trying to communicate. Father or father figure. Could be grandfather or something like that too. Trying to communicate with you this week. And it should be easier than other times, even if you haven't yet developed your abilities as it relates to mediumship, because of the Pisces full moon that occurred today. And the way that Pisces and Neptune have, which is Pisces ruler, have the ability to sort of thin the veil between our two dimensions and consciousness, levels of consciousness, dimensional reality. Mediumship. And cut your cords. I just talked about severing ties, perhaps. Sever, cut. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you up from destructive patterns. One more. Ear chakras. Notice messages that appear as sounds, music, and words from both external sources and within your mind. In your head, you hear noises. I see dead people. I really do. That's so funny. These messages are real answers to your prayers. And that brings us to Archangel Raphael. The healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. Overall energies, ascended masters, powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. And actually, ascended masters are represented by multiple threes. And if in my Pisces full moon reading again, I pointed out at the beginning that the full moon occurred officially at 12:33 this morning. That's 333 at 21 degrees Pisces. 3. Lastly, from the Angel Tarot, beginning with Major Arcana card 0, the Dreamer, which is the Fool in the traditional tarot. You're starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. This is a brand new path, like on which we never walked before. The Princess of Winter, logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. The Princess of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, can absolutely be here representing Mercury and or Venus themselves, and can be about information, messages that we're either receiving or putting out into the world, and is perhaps connected to that email die from the beginning. Receiving an email, receiving a message, some sort of information that puts us on a brand new path, or that allows us to make a decision as to a new path, an opportunity that we have in front of us. Princess of Winter. Major Arcana card 17, the Star, which is also about communication, representative of fellow air sign, Aquarius. And if it's not about communication, it's about manifestation, or both, right? On what have we prayed, made a focused intention, intended to manifest using the law of attraction. You are about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear with hope, and joy is coming home to roost. And it's something that you dreamed about, prayed for, wished for, that's being granted to you in this time, and or something related to communication. Again, represents the planet Uranus and the sign of Aquarius, which it rules. One more. And it is Major Arcana card 8. The Star is also 17 equals 8. I was going to mention it, but I didn't. But now here's another 8. And all three air signs have been represented thoroughly at this point. We saw the Lovers, we saw the Star, and now Justice. Fair decisions will be made after all of the evidence is reviewed impartially. Have compassion for others and try to see all sides of a disagreement. Major Arcana card Justice represents the planet Venus, and again the sign of Libra, which she rules. These two cards together very much representative of Venus having entered Libra this morning. Justice. Brings us to the 9 of Spring. You've worked hard, and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges may pop up, but you'll get through them just as you have in the past. The 9 of Spring is a card that tells us we can persevere, we can triumph over this. We may have been down, but we've never been out. We fall, but we get up. Overall energies, the Prince of Summer, romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting. A Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, quite possibly whether they're a water sign or not, somebody that you know that maybe has been out of your life for a while, but is returning this week. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such whirlwind encounters, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. Let's see how we fare going in this direction. Divine being, or couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to individual or shared progress. What the feminine can do to help herself, however. What the masculine can. What the universe would have each or both do, and even wants to help them with, but they have to first affirm. We have to first affirm because we have free will. So it's our choice, ultimately. And the outcome. Again, the overall energy is the Prince or Knight of Summer, or Cups. Divine being or couple. The Three of Winter. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. This could be connected to perhaps separation. Like I said, our overall energy of the Prince of Summer can very much be representative of somebody who was in our life that is no more. A friend, a business partner, a family member that we haven't spoken to, a romantic interest we haven't spoken to, been in contact with in a while, returning at this point, whether they are a water sign or not. So maybe the fact that they had not been around was sad. Some of us could feel that we have suffered some sort of loss. And maybe we actually have suffered some sort of loss or hurt or betrayal, combinations of those. Perhaps having to do with some sort of party of three, not necessarily a love triangle, but quite possibly. I just mentioned how many threes are, involved this week. Sadness also can be coming up because, again, on the 15th, the first day for which this reading is the feast day of Our Lady of Sorrows. So that may be an overlying theme this week. Mary suffered sorrow, or we're honoring, remembering that Mary suffered sorrow when she lost her son. Not that it necessarily or in actuality occurred this week, but this is the week that we recognizes it. And so maybe the rest of us are, having similar experiences, memories, sentiments coming up. Saturn is going direct. That may have some sort of effect on people this week as it relates to pain, past or present. But again, I think for many it is past, having to do with some sort of parting of ways. Recent past here. Recent past. 5 of Spring. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. The 5 of Spring for me is representative, first and foremost, of being conflicted, like inner turmoil, or it is tied to like work, competition at work. Someone's after your raise or position, period. Or to take credit for the work that you've done, something like that. Somebody's up to no good at the office. They may very well be a fire sign, often Leo. And or this is tied to conflict with close friends and or family. Near future, and that could be, of course, why there's pain and hurt here too. In the recent past, something occurred, some sort of conflict that's resulting in us feeling this way right now. Near future. Decision that it's going to have to be made. You may be under stress because of multiple jobs or too many responsibilities for one person to manage. It's important to balance your work and your personal life, and to bring a spirit of fun to all you do. The 2 of Autumn has to do with balance in your life, like work and play, family and personal time, How many hours of work, like, labor, am I doing per day? How many jobs am I trying to juggle? How many relationships am I trying to juggle? Again, this could be tied to a party of 3. And it's weighing on you. You got to make some sort of earthly decision when the suit of autumn, for me, comes up. Can also be tied to what I call deja vu from hell. When I see the 2 of Pentacles, it's often something that's coming around again, like we're in the same place again. And, to explain it, I usually point out, that song by Rihanna, Take a Bow? You put on quite a show. That song, it's like, with the part where she says, this looks like a rerun. What else is on? Because it's like the same thing is happening again, and I don't want to deal with this again. That's my experience with the 2 of autumn as well. But so far, clearly tied to some sort of conflict, betrayal, hurt, maybe cheating scenario. The competition was between 2 people for one person's affections that led to a party of 3. Masculine's higher self. It's another 2. And it is strength. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. This means whatever is going on, you have the ability to face it. If you are who needs to apologize, and usually both do, right? There's room to go around. 50-50, 100-100, however you want to look at a relationship. There's enough forgiveness and apologies to, on both sides. So this is showing up to say whatever position it is that you're in and needs to be done, you have the capacity this week, masculine, to do it and to face it. And we also had this card show up representing masculine energy in the Pisces full moon reading. And there I had also picked up on something from the past, the masculine's past, that may have been abusive and perhaps even connected to molestation, child abuse, something that he's dealing with this week, maybe again connected to Saturn going direct, or Saturn having been retrograde. Old things were dug up. And now with the going direct, it's time to deal with them. Whatever is coming the masculine's way this week, he does have the strength to deal with it. On another note, I said that the 5 of spring is often suffered at the hands of a Leo. Major Arcana card 11, strength, does in fact represent the sign of Leo in the tarot. Blocks to individual or shared progress. Unity. So being disjoined, maybe being in separation, and or being surrounded by people with whom you don't resonate and align, your vibration doesn't align, as I mentioned a little while earlier, is the block. You're going through spiritual growth, expansion, change, courtesy of Jupiter and Saturn. Saturn is also a very karmic energy planet. And you're just not on the same page maybe with people who used to be friends and family with whom you connected, Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. So basically, people with whom you resonate. Alternatively, unity, or the Hierophant, actually, is about contracts, institutions, so like government agencies, signing papers, even marriage, that's a contract. Marriage, commitment. So this is the block. It is a 5. And it's sitting here next to this other 5. I think it's very, closely related. There's the need for a change of energy here. What the feminine can do to help herself, though, in this regard, or with this situation. The Eight of Spring. Communicate, for one thing. Also trusting that the universe has got your back and is working behind the scenes on your behalf in a positive way to help to move you forward. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. And some of it may be a blessing in disguise. Maybe we suffer a loss. We stop speaking to a friend, but there's a positive reason for it. Could be tied here with the Eight of Spring. So that's something the feminine can do for herself too, is to keep that in mind. What the masculine can do to help himself out of this situation or with this situation. The Princess of Autumn. Cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. A wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion, scholarship, is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or to start a more rewarding and uplifting career. The Princess of Autumn is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Here, above the Princess of Autumn, or Page of Pentacles, is, again, the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents the sign of Taurus. So it's a lot of earth energy here, and this can definitely be connected to a Taurian. And or, again, may have something to do with going to school or learning something, even if has nothing to do with school. If it's learning like here in life, you know, the school of hard knocks or the school of experience. They say experience is the best teacher. Or learning from your surroundings, learning from people. The people, places, and things with whom you surround yourself need to be of your vibration or higher. So you may need to take on an opportunity to surround yourself with better. What the universe would have each or both of us do and wants to help us with is the Princess of Summer. So this too is about communication, but communication that's going to make us happy. It's going to make us smile. Offers of love. Wants to help us to connect with people in a more positive way. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone, email, or be invited to a social event. And also for the feminine, we had this special message of communication too coming up for us. The Princess of Summer is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Not necessarily a direct water sign, but of course, very possibly. And I probably should have changed this, put this here, so that you could also see the outcome. The Three of Summer. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. The Three of Summer is about reunion, celebration. Again, something putting a smile on your face, reconciliation, meeting someone new, and that relationship developing and flourishing. So for some of us, again, there could be a blessing in disguise. We may lose a friendship, lose a romantic partnership, lose a job or a position, an opportunity, but be presented with something that is more befitting of our vibration and have it replaced that way. We may also be moved or called upon, directed intuitively to reach out to somebody with whom we haven't communicated in a while and to reunite with them. And if you get the opportunity, basically, if you get the chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. If you get the opportunity to be social and to reconnect or to connect for the first time with people, to go to maybe a seminar, some sort of group, a setting where you're surrounding yourself with people who may be of your vibration or higher, and where you could, possibly happen to meet somebody. Do take the opportunity. I'm going to further clarify these with another tarot deck. This one, again, beginning with the Eight of Water as an overall energy. A desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful and spiritual and emotional growth. So far, this spread says all of that. Divine being or couple, recent past, near future, masculines, higher self, blocks to individual or shared progress, including union. For some people, I just got that the block, if it's a relationship, romantic relationship with the Hierophant here, the block could be that the person's married. And that may be what the Three of Swords is about too. The person's married. And so they shouldn't be. Like, you don't belong with whom you are. And you need to change with whom, the people, places, and things with whom you surround yourself too. And move on to someone who is more spiritually connected to you, spiritually and emotional. And it might be somebody from your past that's returning to your life, even if you didn't date them before. What the feminine can do to help herself, what the masculine can, and what the universe would have us each or both do, and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm and take the step, or ask the universe for help, or both. And the outcome, and again, the overall energy is the Eight of Water. Divine being a couple, atop the Three of Swords is the Four of Water. So for some, this is connected to disappointment, some sort of letdown, and you may have been part of the cause. Like, you may have missed the blessing in disguise, and thereby missed some sort of opportunity too. Missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. Somebody also may have offered you something, and you may have thought, like, I want more than that. That's not what I want. Maybe somebody offered you an opportunity to be their, side chick or side dude, and that's not what you wanted. You didn't want a party of three or to be extra, so that the offer is not good enough. Recent past, atop the Five of Wands. The Six of Earth, gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities, and receiving a loan or paying off debt. So like I said, for some, this is about competition, and we're fighting for the same, position or raise or promotion, recognition, honor, either directly at work or in life in general, right? Somebody's trying to take your shine, steal your shine. And these are blessings that are wanting to come to you. The Six of Earth, particularly in this deck for me, is also very much about Venus and justice. So it's like very Venus in Libra. We have the scales of justice here. We actually have all the signs that she rules represented in this picture for me. I see Taurus, right, with all the earth and stuff too. And we do have the Hierophant sitting right next to these, which again is representative of the sign of Taurus. And I see Gemini with all this like scattered air and these white clouds that look like they're sort of all over the place in the background. The Six of Earth is about balance, and it sits here atop the Two of Earth or Pentacles, which is also about balance and trying to juggle. And so that could be what's one person is individually, again, conflicted about, trying to juggle. And we're going to be unable. And the universe wants to step in and help you, and maybe recently has stepped in to try to help you through whatever that situation is for you. Near future, atop the Two of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. Maybe as a result, again, of the balance, of you realizing that time with family or time at work isn't enough. I also need to spend time with me, getting to know me, to like me, to love me. And so that's important. And the universe, again, may have stepped in with the opportunity for you to do that. Right? Because when the Six of Earth shows up with the Six of Pentacles, for me, it's assistance that's coming in. Assistance out of unconditional love. It's something that is sort of free of agenda. It is just to help. So it enables us to feel this way. Nine of Earth. Masculine's higher self atop Major Arcana card Strength. It is the Magician. So it's another one, which together, of course, these are another three. Three is not only about, potential parties of three, but of course, creativity, abundance, God, right? The creator, creation, the Trinity. The Magician represents the sign of Gemini, and it's about having all the ability, the wherewithal to, again, face whatever you need, to manifest whatever you need, to draw whatever, not only whatever you need, but whatever you want to yourself, using the law of attraction and positive thought and words and ideas and speech over yourself. When you see multiple ones, it is an alert. Like when you see 1111, it is an alert from the universe. Right? It's an alarm, like the sirens behind me saying, whoa, 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 you. Like, let me get your attention. Stop what you're doing and make sure that the thoughts that are in your mind right now are positive, are about your, especially if they're about yourself, if they're affirmations about your life. Make sure you're not thinking or speaking anything negative over your life right now. Focus on what it is you want to draw to you. That's what the magician is all about as well. So together, these two can be about, again, the masculine drawing upon his strengths and being able to face whatever comes his way. Even if it involves having to leave someone or something behind, including a job, in order to move on to one that is more befitting of his energy and vibration at this time, his current dimensional reality. Atop the Hierophant in the blocks to individual or shared progress position, the 8 of Air. So these blocks, again, and fears are in a huge way sort of our own manifestation. Like if you think yourself blocked, if you think yourself trapped, you're that powerful that all of a sudden, boom, you are. You are that blocked. You are that trapped. But you also have the same ability to think yourself free. And then boom, you will be free as well. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. With some, this is directly connected to spirituality. Being afraid to take action as it relates to spiritual gifts. Maybe in connection to getting an education and learning from someone else who is more, adept at these things, who is at a higher vibration than your own, how to increase your gifts, or going to somebody who performs like healing and activation and all that kind of stuff to help you to recognize who you are and what your strengths are and to build them, further develop them. With it sitting here atop, again, the Page of Pentacles, which is, very much about education, or can be. The 8 of Air. What the feminine can do to help herself, however, with regard to these blocks, the King of Water. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Charity work. Charity work, like the 6 of Earth, which it crosses here, for me is about unconditional love. Things that are done just because they're done out of love. Whether it's the person, you don't know the person, it's a complete stranger, but I don't want anything from you. You don't want anything from me. It is free of agenda. We're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And because we want to do it. That's what charity work is. The King of Water, like the Prince, and that's the overall energy here, is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. This could be very clearly, boom, what the feminine can do to help herself. Contact this man. Not necessarily actually a man. Man, woman. Maybe older. So it's most likely a man. Maybe older. And or mature. Could be like a Scorpio. That's a very mature sign. And or if they contact you, like be receptive to it. Or trust that behind the scenes something is working, this situation out for you guys. Because again, 8s are about karmic energy and karma and faith too. What the masculine can do to help himself. The 9 of Air. Not just say this is about like fear and distrust, lack of confidence in the area of education for some of you guys, especially as it relates to like your spiritual awareness. Here's the fear showing up again. So what you can do to help yourself is get help with it. Again, go to somebody else who can help you with this energy. Maybe an energy healer, specifically to get rid of the negative thoughts, the negative energy for you, so that you can move forward in this area. Some sort of light activation. Well, that's what I call it. That's when I do it. But something like that. or, the removal of negative energy. Expecting the worst. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Sleepless nights. So like I said, if you envision yourself stuck, trapped, unable to leave your situation, then you are. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. What the universe would have each or both do and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm. Atop the Page of Cups, the Princess of Summer. The Seven of Earth. Seeds well planted. A temporary pause in action. Unnecessary worry. So what the universe wants to help us with, again, is, relieving ourselves of worry that things are not working out. And I'm going to say that that's particularly for the masculine, just based on the spread, but it's for all of us. And if you haven't yet planted this seed, if you haven't made taken the initiative to reach out to someone or to be receptive to them reaching out to you, or to plant some sort of offer of love, let people know, or just even in your own heart, to clear out any, again, negative energy from your own heart chakra, so that you are open to receiving not only the love but the healing. That's what the universe wants to help you with. And speaking about this healing, wow, the siren's getting louder and louder. I don't know if there's a message that I failed to mention or why, because it's still loud. And the outcome, atop the Three of Cups, is the Nine of Cups. So this is basically something, again, that we've wanted, something for which we wished. It's very much like the Star, which showed up here before. Of course, the Star is stronger as Major Arcana, but the Nine of Water is a really good card, especially sitting here atop the Three of Water. Your wish comes true. Concerns fade away. You have a love of life. So something, again, for which we've prayed, wish, we've tried to manifest. We had a focus intention. Our wish is coming true, and it may be to reconcile with somebody, or to meet somebody, to have an opportunity to be more social and to get out there, and explore happiness, maybe for a change. And that coming true for us this week. Just going to put the further advice here. For the masculine, from the Animal Tarot, the Three of Spring. Stop to take time to review and to make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all of your accomplishments, but you may also need some patience for the next phase to play out. And that can also be what the Seven of Earth is here to remind us of too. Seven of Earth can come in to say, be patient. You've done what it is you need to do in order for the next step to happen. Now let it happen. Three of Spring may have something to do with some sort of party of three, even a love triangle, although that, not necessarily. For the feminine, from the Animal Tarot, Major Arcana card 18, the Moon, which represents the sign of Pisces, where the full moon actually is today. It's important to trust your intuition. Even if you're unsure of what's happening, all will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. Again, just like it says here, this is why the universe wants to help us with this energy, right? You planted the seeds, let them grow. That's how seeds work. Worry is unnecessary. From the Angel Therapy cards, to the masculine, throat chakra, maybe so you can speak up. Or again, connected to ones. Speech, ideas, the words we speak over ourselves, the thoughts we have over ourselves. Again, all represented by one. We have Mercury and Libra Mercury and Venus rather entering Libra, or having entered Libra this morning. Particularly Mercury is going to be about communication and the balance that's coming in to help us with those communications. The compassion, right? So it's like softer words, kinder words with Libra involved with the Mercury. And that may be why the angels are stepping in this week in particular to help you with throat chakra so that you can say what it is you need to say. The angels are helping you to lovingly speak your truth. Even if that's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to work here anymore. I don't want to live here anymore. Because I definitely see you wanting to leave something and move on to something else that's better for you. Feminine for us, crown chakra. So similarly, again, this is the thoughts and words and things that we, the ideas that we have about ourselves and things and people that surround us. Pay attention to your ideas as they're messages of true divine guidance, sent in answer to your prayers. And lastly, from the angel tarot to the masculine, again, communication, messages coming in or going out, the page of air. Logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information. Yeah, could be challenging to say, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be here. I don't want to work here. Again, whatever. This card can also be about delays or changes to plans. Changing your mind came up in the Pisces full moon reading. Changes to plans. Also, truth delivered without tact. And lastly, for the feminine, the 5 of water. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation. Right? We talked about that over here. Looking a gift horse in the mouth. Or looking at something as a disappointment when it's for your own good. Or not realizing how good an offer is. Not giving it the fair thought that it warranted. Crying over spilled milk. Also not realizing that you have what it is you want. You're just more concerned with what you don't have. Which for me is a very obnoxious kind of energy. The 5 of water, 5 of cups is one of my, because it's like not counting your blessings, not being thankful. I just see it as very obnoxious. Like I want more without showing any concern or gratitude for what I have already. So do watch that sort of energy, feminine. And I will go ahead and pull another one for us. It's going to be the next, I was going to say it'll be the next upright card. But did you see what happened? I went to put down the card that was upside down, not upright. And so it revealed that this was the next upright card, but one had also fallen out and it's upright too. So I'll use this first to clarify the 5 of water, but I do want to take a look at this one also. It's the Knight of Air. So it could be connected directly to an earth sign. Air sign rather. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and or a decision that you're having to make or that you're awaiting. And maybe you're not happy with the decision because you have to make some sort of concession, right? You're not getting everything you wanted. You're only getting some. And so, you're not being thankful for the part that you do give. So do watch that sort of energy. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options, right? So you don't miss out on an opportunity, is what that's saying. And if you do that, then you will come up with creative solutions. And the card that jumped out that wanted to be seen, boom, right? This is an opportunity we don't want to miss. Very nice. The Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity. Career advancement is possible. Change your life now. Of course, this can also be tied to relationships. It's a brand new something in your life or someone about which you're going to be, or you are extremely passionate and, confident that you can maintain. Hope you guys have enjoyed the weekly general reading. I will be back with love. Namaste.